Every single day, you wake up with two choices. Let life happen to you or take control and shape your destiny. If you want to be extraordinary, you don't wait for the perfect moment. You create it. Success isn't built in a day, but what you do daily will determine the life you build. It starts with your mindset. Everything you believe, every story you tell yourself, it's shaping your future. If you keep saying, I'm not good enough, guess what? You'll live that reality. But if you train your mind to focus on growth, on solutions, on possibilities, your world shifts. Control your thoughts, and you control your future. Emotions drive behavior. If you let fear, doubt, or frustration dictate your actions, you'll never move forward. You must master your emotions because life will test you. There will be setbacks, rejections, moments when you feel like giving up. But those who rise aren't the ones who never fall. They're the ones who refuse to stay down. And to keep rising, you need confidence, not the fake kind that comes from external validation, but real, unshakable self-belief. You build it by keeping promises to yourself. You said you'd wake up early, do it. You said you'd hit the gym, show up. Confidence is built through action, not words. Now let's talk about the backbone of all success, discipline. Forget motivation. Motivation is temporary, but discipline, that's what separates the dreamers from the doers. Discipline is doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. It's showing up every single day, no excuses, no shortcuts. And let's be real, none of this matters if you don't have the energy to execute. Your body is your vehicle. If you're filling it with junk, neglecting rest, skipping movement, how do you expect to perform at your peak? Treat your body like a machine, fuel it with the right food, get enough sleep, move daily, and watch your productivity skyrocket. But success isn't just about what you do alone, it's about who you surround yourself with. Relationships can either lift you up or drag you down. Choose wisely. Cut out the energy drainers and invest in people who challenge you, push you, and make you better. And while you're leveling up, never stop learning. The moment you think you know everything, you stop growing. Read, listen, observe. The most successful people in the world never stop sharpening their skills. Growth is a lifelong game. Play to win. But having skills means nothing if you can't communicate. Whether it's in business, relationships, or leadership, how you express yourself determines how others perceive you. Learn to speak with clarity, with conviction, with impact. Words have power, use them wisely. And once you've got the knowledge, the confidence, and the discipline, it all comes down to one thing, action. Too many people sit on ideas waiting for the right time. There is no perfect moment. The people who win are the ones who take the leap, adjust as they go, and refuse to let fear hold them back. Above all, life will throw curveballs. You'll face failures, rejections, unexpected challenges. But if you train yourself in gratitude and resilience, nothing can break you. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's possible. Resilience turns pain into power, and when you live in that state, you don't just survive, you thrive. Every single day, before you take a single step, before you speak a single word, before you even move, your mind is already at work shaping your reality. And the question is, are you in control of it or is it controlling you? Because everything you do, every decision you make, every action you take is driven by what's happening up here. If you don't take charge of your mindset, life will do it for you. And let me tell you something. Life doesn't care about your dreams. Life will throw distractions, doubts, and fears at you every single day. And if you don't condition your mind to be stronger than your excuses, you'll never break free from the cycle of mediocrity. Most people wake up and immediately let their circumstances dictate their emotions. They check their phone, see a message that stresses them out, and their whole day is thrown off. They look in the mirror and focus on what they don't like. They go to work and let negativity, complaints, and other people's opinions control how they feel. But the people who win, those who dominate their field, those who create real impact, have mastered one thing. They train their mind every single day like an athlete trains their body. They don't wake up and wait to see how they feel. They decide how they're going to feel. They don't wait for external motivation. They create it. That's the difference between those who struggle and those who succeed. It's not intelligence. It's not luck. It's not talent. It's the ability to take control of what's happening inside before the outside world has a chance to interfere. Because when you control your mind, you control your focus. And focus is everything. Where focus goes, Energy flows. If you're constantly focusing on problems, what do you think you'll see more of? More problems. If you focus on solutions, if you train your mind to see possibilities, you start noticing opportunities everywhere. It's like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. And let's be real. There will be days when you don't feel like it. Days when self-doubt creeps in. Days when the old stories start playing in your head, telling you that you're not enough, that you've failed too many times, that someone else has more talent, more resources, more support. But those are just stories. And stories can be rewritten. The moment you realize that, everything changes. You stop playing small. You stop waiting for permission. You stop making excuses. You start showing up differently, thinking differently. This isn't about being positive all the time. It's about choosing power over limitation. It's about recognizing that you are the one who decides how you respond to challenges. Because once you master your mindset, you become unstoppable. No obstacle is too big. No failure is final. No setback can break you. You stop being controlled by circumstances and start creating the reality you want. And that's when everything shifts. Every day, life throws something at you, an unexpected challenge, a difficult person, a moment that doesn't go your way. And in that instant, you have a choice. Let your emotions take over and control you, or take control of them and own the situation. Because make no mistake, your emotions are either your greatest weapon or your greatest weakness. They can drive you forward with unstoppable force, or they can chain you down, leaving you stuck, frustrated, and powerless. Most people let their emotions dictate their actions. They wake up feeling tired, so they drag through the day. They get one piece of bad news, and suddenly everything feels like it's falling apart. Someone criticizes them, and they spiral into self-doubt. They let external circumstances determine how they feel inside, and that's why they never break through. They think they're at the mercy of their emotions. But the truth is, emotions don't just happen to you, you create them. And if you can create them, you can change them. The key is learning how to shift your emotional state in an instant. Because if you let fear, doubt, anger, or frustration control you, you're giving away your power. You can't build the life you want when you're constantly reacting to everything around you. You have to decide right now that you are in charge of your emotions, not the other way around. And that starts with awareness. The next time you feel overwhelmed, instead of letting it consume you, stop and ask yourself, what am I focusing on? What meaning am I attaching to this? Because meaning creates emotion. If you tell yourself a situation is the end of the world, you'll feel defeated. But if you tell yourself it's a challenge, an opportunity to grow, suddenly your energy shifts. And let's be real, there will be moments when emotions hit you hard. Fear will try to hold you back. Anger will try to take over. Doubt will whisper that you're not enough. But emotions are like waves. They come and go. The question is, do you let the wave drown you, or do you learn to ride it? The people who win in life aren't the ones who never feel negative emotions. They're the ones who don't let those emotions control their actions. Because here's the truth. If you let emotions dictate your decisions, you'll never have consistency. You'll only take action when you feel good, and that's not how success works. You have to be able to move forward even when you don't feel like it. And when you learn to control your emotions, you take back your power. You stop being reactive, stop being thrown off course by every little thing. You become steady, focused, and when you live in that state, not controlled by emotions, but in control of them, that's when you win. Confidence isn't something you're born with, it's something you build. It's not about feeling good all the time, and it's definitely not about waiting for the world to validate you. It's about knowing deep in your core that no matter what happens, you will figure it out. Because let's be real, if you don't believe in yourself, why should anyone else? The most successful people in the world aren't necessarily the smartest, the most talented, or the luckiest. They're the ones who back themselves, even when nobody else does. They step into the room like they belong there, not because they have all the answers, but because they trust themselves to find them. Most people are waiting for confidence to show up before they take action. They think, once I feel ready, once I have more experience, once I know exactly what I'm doing, then I'll go for it. But that's backwards. Confidence doesn't come before action. It comes because of action. The moment you step up, the moment you take that first uncomfortable move, you start building it. Every single time you push through fear, every time you do something you didn't think you could do, you strengthen that muscle. And over time, it becomes unshakable. But let's be honest, there will be moments when doubt creeps in, When you hear that voice telling you you're not good enough, that you don't have what it takes, and if you listen to that voice, it will keep you small because doubt will always be there, whispering in your ear, trying to pull you back to safety. But safety is an illusion. Playing small doesn't protect you. It only guarantees that you'll never experience your full potential. The only way to silence doubt is through action. You prove to yourself through your own behavior that you are capable, that you are strong, that you are worthy. And let me tell you, confidence isn't about pretending to be fearless. It's about acting in spite of fear. It's standing in the face of uncertainty and saying, I may not know how, but I will figure it out. It's not about never failing. It's about knowing that failure isn't the end. It's just another step forward. The people who win are the ones who stop letting fear control them. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They step into the unknown, trusting that they have everything they need inside them. So if you want real confidence, stop waiting for it. Stop looking for permission. Stop hesitating. Start moving. Start doing the things that scare you. Show up for yourself every single day, even when you don't feel like it. Keep pushing. Keep proving. Keep growing. And before you know it, you won't just feel confident. You'll be unstoppable. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's the difference between those who talk about success and those who actually achieve it. And let's get one thing straight. Motivation is overrated. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings are unreliable. Some days you wake up ready to take on the world, and other days you don't even feel like getting out of bed. If you rely on motivation, you'll only take action when you feel good. And that's why most people never reach their potential. The people who win don't depend on motivation. They depend on discipline. Discipline is doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. It's making the call when you'd rather procrastinate. It's hitting the gym when your body tells you to stay in bed. It's putting in the extra hours when everyone else is taking it easy. Because the truth is, success doesn't come from one big moment. It comes from the small, consistent actions you take every single day. It's not about being the most talented or the luckiest. It's about showing up again and again long after the excitement has worn off. Most people get fired up about their goals in the beginning. They start strong, they're excited, they're committed, but then reality hits, it gets hard. The results don't come as fast as they expected, the enthusiasm fades, and this is the moment where most people quit. They tell themselves, maybe this isn't for me, maybe I don't have what it takes, but the people who succeed, they push through that moment. They don't listen to their emotions, they listen to their commitment. Because here's the truth. Discipline isn't about punishment, it's about freedom. The freedom to live life on your terms. The freedom to walk into any situation knowing you put in the work. The freedom to trust yourself because you've built a habit of following through. And the best part, discipline compounds. Every time you do the hard thing, every time you show up despite the resistance, you strengthen that muscle. And over time, what once felt difficult becomes automatic. And let's be honest, there will always be distractions. There will always be temptations to take the easy road. But every time you choose discipline over comfort, you're reinforcing the identity of someone who follows through, someone who does what they said they would do, someone who doesn't back down. That's how real confidence is built, not by waiting for the right moment, but by proving to yourself day after day that you have what it takes. So stop waiting to feel like it. Stop looking for shortcuts. Decide right now that you will show up no matter what, because discipline isn't just a habit, it's who you become. And once you master it, there is nothing that can stop you. Your body is the foundation of everything you do. You can have the biggest dreams, the best strategies, the strongest mindset, but if you don't have the energy to execute, none of it matters. You cannot perform at your peak if you're running on empty. You cannot lead, create, or push forward if your body is breaking down. Energy is everything. It fuels your focus, your discipline, your ability to show up every single day and give your best. If you don't take care of your health, you are sabotaging your success before you even begin. Most people treat their body like an afterthought. They run on caffeine, junk food, and stress. They tell themselves they're too busy to work out, too tired to eat right, too overwhelmed to rest. But here's the truth. If you don't make time for your health now, you will be forced to make time for illness later. There is no success without vitality. There is no growth if your body is constantly in survival mode. You need to start treating your body like the high-performance machine it is. And it starts with movement. Your body was designed to move. When you sit all day, when you neglect exercise, you're not just weakening your body, you're weakening your mind. Movement creates momentum. It shifts your energy, clears your mind, and primes you for success. You don't need to be an athlete. You don't need to spend hours in the gym, but you do need to move every single day. Because when you move your body, you change your state, and when you change your state, you take control of your life. But it's not just about movement. It's about fuel. What you put into your body determines how you perform. Most people treat food like a quick fix, something to grab on the go, something to satisfy a craving. But food is fuel. It either builds you up or breaks you down. And if you're constantly feeding yourself garbage, don't be surprised when you feel like garbage. If you want energy, if you want focus, if you want longevity, start giving your body what it needs. Real nutrient-dense foods that sustain you, that keep you strong, that help you function at your highest level. And then there's rest. In a world that glorifies hustle, too many people are burning themselves out, running on fumes, thinking they'll rest when they have time. But you don't find time for recovery, you make time. Your body regenerates when you sleep. Your brain processes and sharpens. Your energy is restored. If you're constantly exhausted, if you're pushing yourself to the point of depletion, you are not working harder, you're working against yourself. So stop treating your health like an afterthought. Stop acting like your energy is unlimited. Take care of the one thing that makes everything else possible, your body. Because when you have the energy, the strength, and the vitality to back up your ambition, there is nothing you can't achieve. Your time is your most valuable asset. You can lose money and make it back. You can lose opportunities and create new ones. But time, once it's gone forever. And yet most people treat their time like it's unlimited. They waste hours on distractions, on meaningless conversations, on scrolling through their phone, on saying yes to things that don't serve them. And then they wonder why they're not where they want to be. The truth is, success isn't about having more time, it's about using the time you have with absolute intention. Look at the most successful people in the world. They don't have more hours in the day than you do. They don't get some special advantage. They just operate differently. They don't react to life, they design it. They don't let their schedule fill up with other people's priorities. They protect their time like their life depends on it. Because it does. Every minute wasted is a minute you'll never get back. And if you don't control your time, someone else will. Most people wake up and dive straight into chaos. They check their phone, they scroll through emails, they react to whatever demands their attention first. And by the end of the day, they wonder why they feel exhausted but haven't made any real progress. But the people who dominate their field, they start their day with clarity. They know exactly what their priorities are. They don't let distractions dictate their focus. They don't spend time on things that don't move them forward. They operate with urgency because they know that time is the only thing they can't get more of. And let's be real. There will always be distractions. There will always be people, tasks, and temptations pulling at your attention. That's why you have to be ruthless with your time. You have to learn to say no to things that don't serve you. No to time-wasting conversations. No to commitments that drain you. No to the habits that keep you stuck. Because every time you say yes to something that doesn't, this isn't about being busy, it's about being productive. Most people confuse movement with progress. They're always doing something, but they're not getting anywhere. They spend hours checking tasks off a to-do list, but none of it moves the needle. The real game changers, they focus on results. They know that 20% of their actions will create 80% of their success. They eliminate the noise, the distractions, the things that don't matter, and they go all in on what does. So stop letting time slip through your fingers. Stop letting distractions steal your future. Start owning your schedule. Start protecting your focus. Start living with the urgency that your goals demand, because the clock is ticking and the life you want isn't going to wait. Your mind is either your greatest weapon or your biggest limitation. Every single day you are feeding it something. Thoughts, beliefs, perspectives, and whatever you feed it determines the life you create. If you fill your mind with negativity, doubt, and fear, you will live a small life, always questioning yourself, always holding back. But if you fill it with knowledge, with powerful ideas, with perspectives that challenge you and force you to grow, there is no limit to what you can achieve. The quality of your life is a direct reflection of the quality of what you feed your mind. Most people go through life on autopilot, consuming whatever is put in front of them. They scroll through social media, watch the news, listen to conversations filled with complaints, and wonder why they feel stuck, unmotivated, and lost. If you spend all day consuming junk, you can't expect to feel strong. Your mind is just like your body. If you don't feed it the right fuel, it will not perform at its best. You have to be intentional about what you allow in, because your thoughts shape your reality. The most successful people in the world never stop learning. They read, they listen, they surround themselves with people who challenge them, who push them, who expand their thinking. They don't settle for the knowledge they have today because they know that growth is a never-ending process. And the moment you think you've learned enough, the moment you stop feeding your mind is the moment you start falling behind. The world doesn't slow down for anyone. If you're not learning, you're not growing. And if you're not growing, you're dying. And let's be real, learning isn't just about consuming information, it's about applying it. Too many people read books, listen to podcasts, attend seminars, and then do nothing with it. They collect knowledge like it's a trophy, but knowledge without action is useless. You don't need more information, you need execution. Every single day you should be asking yourself, how can I use this? How can I apply this to my life right now? Because information only becomes power when you put it to work. And here's the truth. If you're not intentional about what you feed your mind, the world will decide for you. And the world is filled with distractions, negativity, and noise. You have to take control. You have to be deliberate. Read books that challenge your thinking. Listen to people who inspire you. Study the greats. Surround yourself with those who make you better. Because the more you expand your mind, the more you expand your life. And when you commit to growing every single day, there is no limit to what you can achieve. Your environment is shaping you every single day, whether you realize it or not. The people you spend time with, the conversations you engage in, the energy that surrounds you, it's all influencing your mindset, your decisions, and ultimately your destiny. If you're surrounded by people who complain, who make excuses, who settle for mediocrity, don't be surprised when you start thinking the same way. But if you're surrounded by people who push themselves, who challenge you, who demand more from life, then that becomes your standard. You don't rise to your goals, you fall to the level of your environment. Look around at the people in your life. Are they lifting you up or are they holding you back? Are they encouraging your growth or are they keeping you stuck? You cannot afford to surround yourself with negativity, with small thinking, with people who don't believe in themselves, because that energy is contagious, and if you're not careful, it will infect you. The fastest way to level up your life is to level up your environment. Find people who are playing at a higher level than you. Get around those who make you uncomfortable, who force you to think bigger, who inspire you to raise your standards, because when you're surrounded by greatness, it becomes impossible to settle for anything less. But it's not just about people, it's about everything in your environment, the music you listen to, the content you consume, the energy in your home, your workspace, your daily surroundings. Every single thing is either fueling your success or draining it. If you want to change your life, start by changing your space. Create an environment that makes success inevitable. Organize your life in a way that supports your goals. Remove distractions, eliminate clutter, surround yourself with reminders of what you're working toward. Your environment should be designed to keep you moving forward, not pulling you back. And let's talk about energy. Some places lift you up and some places drain you. Some people make you feel alive and some people leave you exhausted. Pay attention. Because if you're constantly feeling stuck, if you're always drained, if you're struggling to stay focused, it's not just about discipline, it's about your surroundings. You cannot expect to thrive in a toxic environment. You need to be around energy that fuels you, people who inspire you, places that elevate you. This is your life, and if your environment isn't helping you grow, it's time to change it, because the right surroundings don't just make success easier, they make it inevitable. Surround yourself with greatness and watch how fast everything shifts. Your emotions are not random. They don't just happen to you. They are created by the way you move, the way you think, the way you focus. Every single day, you are either managing your emotions or your emotions are managing you. And if you let them take control, if you allow frustration, fear, and doubt to dictate your actions, then you are giving away your power. But when you learn to master your emotions, when you take charge of your state, you become unstoppable. Think about it. How often do people let their emotions dictate their decisions? They feel tired, so they skip the workout. They feel discouraged, so they stop trying. They feel overwhelmed, so they procrastinate. Most people believe they have to wait for the right feelings to take action, but that's completely backward. You don't wait to feel motivated. You create motivation. You don't wait to feel confident. You generate confidence. You decide how you're going to feel, and then you take the actions that reinforce that state, because emotion follows motion. Try this. Stand up straight, breathe deeply, move with energy. Now slump your shoulders, drop your head, and take shallow breaths. Notice the difference? Your body is directly connected to your emotions. Change your physiology, and you instantly change your state. That's why movement is so powerful. That's why music, breathing, and posture matter. Because when you control your body, you control your emotions. And when you control your emotions, you control your life. But it's not just about your body, it's about your focus. Whatever you focus on, you feel. If you focus on what's missing, on what's wrong, on what you can't control, you will feel overwhelmed, frustrated, and powerless. But if you shift your focus to what's possible, to what you can do, to what you're grateful for, everything changes, because energy flows where attention goes. And most people don't even realize they are training themselves to feel bad every day simply by what they focus on. And let's talk about the words you use, because language shapes your emotions. If you constantly tell yourself, I'm exhausted, I'm stuck, I'm overwhelmed, guess what? Your brain will believe you and it will reinforce that state. But if you say, I'm finding a way, I'm getting stronger, I'm figuring this out, your brain shifts, your emotions shift, your energy shifts. The words you speak become the reality you live. You have the power to decide how you feel every single day. You don't have to be controlled by your emotions. You can control them. You can shift your energy, your focus, your words, your body, and completely change your state. And when you learn to do that, when you master your emotions instead of being ruled by them, there is nothing that can hold you back. You must take responsibility for your life. No one else is coming to save you. The harsh truth is that no matter what your circumstances are, you are the one who holds the key to your future. You are the one who decides where you go, how far you go, and how fast you get there. There is no such thing as luck or fate when it comes to achieving your goals. There is only personal responsibility, and that responsibility starts with you taking ownership of everything in your life. Think about it. How many times do you hear people complain about their situation, blaming their circumstances, their past, or the people around them? They focus on everything they can't control and use it as an excuse to stay stuck. But the truth is, your circumstances don't define you. Your choices do. What you do right now in this moment is what will determine where you are tomorrow. Taking responsibility doesn't mean blaming yourself or beating yourself up. It means understanding that you are the creator of your reality. If something isn't working, it's up to you to change it. If you're not happy with your health, your career, your relationships, you are the one who has the power to change it. It's easy to point fingers, to play the victim, to blame external forces. But when you take full responsibility, you take back your power. You stop waiting for permission, for the perfect moment, for everything to be in place. You take action regardless of the obstacles in your way. This is where true freedom lies. When you take responsibility, you stop being a victim of your circumstances. You stop waiting for the world to change, and you start changing yourself. You realize that you control your response to every situation, that no matter what happens, you have the ability to decide how you show up. You are no longer at the mercy of your environment. You create your environment. Taking responsibility also means letting go of the blame game. There is no room for excuses if you want to move forward. Every time you blame someone or something else, you are giving away your power. But when you own your decisions, when you take responsibility for the choices you've made, you reclaim your strength. It's a shift in mindset. It's saying, I am in control. I am responsible. I choose how I respond to the challenges life throws at me. And yes, life will throw challenges at you. There will be times when things don't go according to plan. There will be setbacks, failures, and moments of doubt. But in those moments, it's not the challenge that defines you. It's how you respond to it. Will you take responsibility and use it as an opportunity to grow, or will you let it defeat you? The power is always in your hands. No one is coming to rescue you, because the truth is you don't need rescuing. You just need to step into your power, own your decisions, and take responsibility for the life you want to create. The moment you do that, you unlock your true potential.